Okay, so up on the roof here, gonna walk around and talk about a few things. First of all, the roof itself, the roof covering itself, looks like it's a 30-year shingle, and I'm going to estimate that it's 10-ish years old, 10 to 15. It looks like it's in decent shape. It's in good shape. Okay. The issue that I'm having with it is that it appears that it was installed on top of an old roof. So the old shingles weren't torn off when this new roof was installed. And I'll show you when I get down off the ladder what I'm talking about. And really the issue there is when you install a roof, so you can do that. Most municipalities by code will let you do it one time. But the issue is it takes life off the roof. So if you have a 30-year shingle, it could take at least five, sometimes more, depending on how well the roof is ventilated. So that's really the issue with that. And then sometimes too, it doesn't get flashed properly, or it doesn't have the proper ice and water shield where it should have it, because you didn't tear off. That we can't see, so that's only speculation. But I want to talk a little bit about the chimney here. Usually a chimney this wide would have what's called a saddle flashing, or a cricket in the back here, which directs or redirects rainwater to either side to go around the chimney. You can see there is there's flashing that protrudes out and does sort of kick the water around it. Usually it's a lot bigger than this. It'll be, I don't know, say like this high, and then it'll come out and then down on either side. And you can see, because it's not that big, you start to get debris building up here. And when that debris builds up, heavy rains can sort of like splash up under the flashing a little bit, and it'll just wear this area out here. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. I mean, consider installing a larger saddle here, but yeah, I mean, there is an attempt to do that here. It's just maybe not as big as I would like to see it. So then you also have cracks here in the mortar, a little bit of mortar joint deterioration. It does look like this chimney was probably repaired at some point, because other than down there, the mortar does look pretty good. Right here you can see some deterioration down at the bottom here again, and I didn't notice this the first time around, but there's actually a piece of angle iron in there, probably to help support the brick, the weight of the brick. You can see there's a piece of mortar that fell out there. So this would definitely need some attention here. You don't want water getting in there. Let's see what the other side looks like. And it looks okay. A little bit of cracking here. So yeah, so this is going to need some attention here. You can also see just how the flashing is just real wavy here. Like, they use really thin stuff. And somebody looks like hit this with some white Flex Seal, looks like. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was some water damage or issues in the past with this chimney leaking. So we'll take a close look when we get inside. So I am starting to see here is like a nail pop coming up through the shingle. And that's another thing that can happen when you install over an old roof. Some of the old nails can start to push up. And I did notice this area right here is actually sticking up. And when I stepped on it, it's spongy. So it's hard to say what's going on in there. Could be just a loose section of plywood under there that's sticking up. You know, unless it starts to crack the shingles, it's not really worth it to pull all this shingles off and to you know, nail that down. So, but definitely something to keep an eye on here. Plumbing vent here looks okay. Yeah, it's always tough when it's so close to the ridge like this, but looks like it should be okay. So here's another an old chimney. Some issues with this is holes up here at the top where they sealed that off. You don't want water getting down in there. There isn't actually any counter flashing on this chimney, so this stuff here, that's your step flashing, and then the flashing that covers up that is called counter flashing. And what they did is they just sealed it with roof tar and fabric, and as you can see, the roof tar cracks over time and water can get in there. So I would recommend removing that and actually installing actual counter flashing. If this chimney isn't in use at all anymore, the thing to do is just to get rid of it down below the roof line and shingle over top of it. And also here you can see there's some mortar joint deterioration and some loose brick here that's just stuck in there. So that's going to need some attention. Overall, the shingle section of the roof is in pretty good shape. So I'm gonna carefully go down. Well, we'll just talk about this roof from up here. So down below, this is a flat seam metal roof, and you can see that the coating is starting to peel. Those flat seam roofs can last a really long time. I'm sure it's the original roof to the house, but you have to maintain it with the roof coating. If it's the silver coat, I would recommend sticking with the silver coat unless you completely clean it off. Usually you'll see the tinner's red coating, and you can see that's what it used to be, that red color where it's peeled off. So yeah, it's just usually they're not compatible and they don't stick well unless you clean the roof off completely. Either way, if you do recoat this has to be cleaned off very well, and any cracking along the seams should be sealed. I'll get a closer look. I haven't been down there yet, but yeah, down here, these seams we'll have to take a closer look at. But so yeah, that's gonna be it as far as this video goes. There might be some other stuff in the report, but that's the majority of the roof here.